What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back in and react to all kind of different things. Alright, so what we got going on today? Kyle Hill has dropped a new one. I know we've been going through his Half-Life stories, but we're going to get to this one right now because it's just 2 days ago and it's covering Dead Space. Now, I don't know how many of you like Dead Space, but 1 and 2 at least, I loved it. Even though I never finished, I need to go back and actually beat those games, but just playing through it was just so fun. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and check this out. The video is Dead Space Stomping Physically Possible? So, the way we knock enemies down and then just stomp through their whole bodies, can we actually do that? Well, let's find out. Let's go.
When you and I played through Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2 together, you asked me a lot of sciencey questions. But by far the question you asked me the most was whether or not your average engineer could actually stomp his way through the USGS.com Ishimura. Well, today we're answering that question with this, the Necromos Stompa 5000. Patent pending. I have to get through the lawsuits.
You would go to the trouble of putting together a whole stomping machine just for this.
Now entering the facility.
I love it.
The task is relatively simple. We take a screen-accurate Dead Space boot and smashing apparatus made by my weapons master Thea and raise it to different heights and put different weights on it to see whether or not a realistic Isaac Clarke could actually smash body parts, not really, but kind of body parts, like he does in the game. Dumb idiot. The ultimate test of this smashing rig, of course, will be to smash some accurate human body parts with accurately molded, casted, and strengthened human internals. We have a head, we have an arm, and this head may even have a little surprise in it. But before we get to all that testing, I want my weapons master...
Okay, we already know whenever it says something like that, it's gonna be something in it. So, what are your votes? I don't know. Probably candy or something, who knows?
To explain to all of you how exactly she made this monster.
Weapons Master reporting for duty. Making this build was incredibly fun and also very complicated. Not only did we want to be able to drop a huge amount of weight on the objects, but we wanted to be able to add more weight to test different kinds of weight. It needed to all fall in one straight plane, because when you stomp on something and you miss, that's no fun. And we even added some places to add bungees so that we could increase, some places to add bungees so that we could increase the velocity of the object that's falling. And by object, I mean this awesome boot that I spent way too long making. The boot was one of my favorite parts of this build, but today we're here to smash things, so go check out the whole build on my channel. And what did Kyle do with my head?
Before we begin, how hard can Isaac Clarke stomp? I don't know. We know from other scientific studies generally how hard people can stomp. We know that that can cause skull fractures, arm fractures, but that's not what we're here to test today. We want to see whether or not you can stomp stuff apart like you see in the game. The problem is, you don't really find force plates available for purchase that can handle the kinds of weights that this thing is going to smash with. So today, to get an idea of how hard this thing can smash at different heights, different weights, I have this spectacular pressure-sensitive film. It is lined with micro vessels that when you break them under certain pressures, it changes colors here. You can see where I was doing some stomping earlier. Calm down. So what we're going to do is use different films rated at different pressures to see just how hard this thing can stomp, and then we'll know what we are stomping with. We will start with our first and lowest rated film that goes to 350 PSI. We can go all the way up to about 50,000, but we'll start low at about, I don't know, the bite pressure of a lion. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. I'm award-winning.
The bite pressure of a lion. Yeah, that's low, right? Oh man, love it.
Number of devices on just one account. While you're surfing, protect your...
The Kyle stomp.
Yes, there we go. But I'm quite flexible. Okay, so this is starting up to 350 PSI. On you. Jeez! Let's lift this up real quick. It looks like you can see that The high pressure areas are right on the outside, and they're extremely red. You can see that this is definitely up to 300 psi of pressure. Let's see if it can squish even more. Next test is up to 1400 psi, which scientifically is a lot. Put this down. Okay, on you.
And
okay, again, you can see that it is hitting on the edges. It's not going to matter so much when we start stomping stuff with, more than 2 dimensions to it. But on the edges, you can see that it's at least 300 psi and up to 1400 psi. But no worries, I have stuff that goes even harder. Our second to last film goes up to 18,000 psi. So if we can make any impression on this, see any color change, then we are in the ballpark of something pretty dang dangerous here.
ready?
Yeah.
Moment of truth. Interesting. So
Okay.
we lost the edges.
You lost the edge. There's still very little. There's still very little here. It's right in the center where the pole is coming through the bottom a little bit, but you still see some color changes on the edges, which means it's somewhere in the range of 7,000 to 18,000. And 18,000 pounds per square inch is getting into the range of the compressive and tensile strength of human bone.
Amazing.
So that's good news. Okay. One more. Last establishing test between 18,000 and 43,000 psi. What are we at the bottom of the ocean with this thing? Maybe. Lift it up. 3, 2, 1.
This is just entertaining.
And
Still around the edges. And
Is there like is the thing that the boot is on when it comes down, is it flat? Because it seems like it keeps on hitting the center and puncturing it to a certain extent. So I don't know. I want to see the bottom of it and see if there's like maybe like a little bump or something that's like sticking out, maybe like a centimeter or something. Because it's weird to me that it's the center that keeps on getting punctured when it's supposed to be flat. I don't know.
And at the center, you can see that given the weight on very small surface area, that increases the pressure dramatically. It's right. It's like having a stiletto heel or a pin or something like that. Yeah. But that is at least, on some parts of this apparatus, at least 18,000 psi, which is in the tensile strength of human bone-like range. Are you ready to smash some stuff?
Kyle, I'm expecting
a mess. You should have a lab coat.
I should. Where my lab coat at?
Shop.kylehill.net.
Get her lab coat.
Stomping height.
She still doesn't have her lab coat.
It's okay. We maybe need to get some rags.
Oh yeah, that was great. You gonna play it back in slow motion again? Oh, 2 tomatoes.
Ready? Oh, viscous.
Making some salad.
You find cooking too boring? Have we got a solution for you?
Try the Smash-O-Matic. All right, one more.
Patent pending.
Max out test.
Our whole watermelon,
Okay,
huh?
I will put the bungee on. You have to be smooth like butter.
I'm sorry.
Okay, want to put some tension on it to make sure the bungees hold?
Oh, it's at the rate. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
ready.
Yes.
And
Maxed out. 3, 2, 1.
Not completely. It didn't just like it busted it open, but it didn't like shatter it.
that was a proper.
It was nice.
That was amazing.
It was nice
Yeah, right in
though.
front of the GoPro too.
You know what? They could take these and make like fruit smashing ASMR videos. Just slow it down a little bit more so you can see all the squish. So at least they have something to do with this machine after this video, so it's not just a one-shot thing.
That might be human brains in a second.
Let's hope so.
Good job.
I know I'd be having too much fun if I had
Sophia,
that.
our smashing rig is extraordinary at smashing. You did a great job. But now we have to see if it can do what Isaac Clarke does in the game, and that's deal with realistic human limbs and torsos and brains and such. It's actually pinned to simulate tendons here in between, so it's probably unlikely this is to separate. But if this can break through the bone and separate that appreciably, then it will look just like it does in the game. Let's try it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Hoist her up.
Hoisting. 3, 2, 1.
It didn't shatter. Interesting.
Oh my God!
That was vicious.
It did smash though.
Vicious.
All right, okay.
Did it break the bone?
Oh no, oh, it's slimy from all the juices.
That is mangled.
That is,
It is mangled, definitely, but what's the
this
severity?
is absolutely shattered. Wrist shattered. Did it actually break any bones? It definitely separated right here.
I'm getting real, yeah.
It's separate-
Dislocation,
Dislocation,
the flesh just torn away.
which is what you see in Dead Space 1 and 2. You don't actually see any bones breaking, but you definitely see flesh being separated.
Ripped open.
It's coming apart as we speak. Oh no! Oh, jeez. Oh, okay.
I mean, this looks like the game.
This is pretty accurate.
They deboned the fake arm. Oh man, but yeah, the bone didn't break. Just showing just how strong human bones really are and everything.
This is pretty doom.
What the wires are simulating here is tendons, and the tendons are on their way out already. I mean,
Well, we found out a way to kind of fully take the flesh off of bones. So it's like a recipe, remove bones from flesh,
I've always been trying to
remove
figure
flesh
that
from
out.
bones completely. Now we know how.
The hardest test is yet to come, Thea. That is full skull with brains. I think things are going to get messy. Final test: skull, realistic bones with possibly blood and brains inside it.
That's gonna.
Let's lift it up. Nice and easy.
I think it's gonna shatter.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh! Instant death. Instant death.
Good.
Oh man, no, bring that back. That was too nice. Bring that back.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh!
Oh!
Am I enjoying that scene just a little bit too much?
Oh, good. Oh no! The blood
It's gushing everywhere.
Oops! Oh, I'm so sorry, Thea. Oh man, I didn't.
Kyle, I'm the one who made this.
That was funny. Oh man! Oh no! See that again too.
The blood. It
Slips out his hands.
Oops! Oh, I'm so sorry, Thea. Oh man, I didn't.
Kyle, I'm
I
the
feel
one
like he
who
did that on
made
purpose.
this
Oh, I'm
scene.
so sorry.
Be careful who you're messing with.
Get on you. See, I have this lab coat that protected me. Did you get? Oh man, you can see. This,
Look
this
at
is
the destruction.
yes.
We need some close-up of this. Just look how it is smashed from the top here. Like that. I don't think we can put this on YouTube, Kyle.
It's okay. The video sponsored. Cranium absolutely smashed. Orbital bones smashed. Probably neck
Sponsor video for the
broken.
win.
This is exactly what you see. And the skull is continuing to degrade.
This is still falling apart.
That is absolute mayhem. And so we can, I think.
Need a hand.
No, it's fine. So I think we. Oh, jeez! Oh man, Thea, I'm so sorry.
Oh man! Why does he keep slipping up? That is hilarious.
did that hit you? Are you good?
Kyle, do you
Here.
want to look a little bit closer at that?
Here.
'Cause I'll take the rope for you. I'll hoist it so you can see it nice and close.
Wasn't that jawsome?
Sick necklace.
That was pretty cool though.
Wait a minute, so what's actually going on here? What is Isaac's corpse stomping force? The equation I like to use for estimating smashing forces, because of course I do, is the work energy principle, which can relate the average force to how kinetic energy changes over distance. It's like estimating the force during a car crash by calculating how its kinetic energy stops as the front end crumples over some distance. With this in mind, here are the variables we need. And here are those numbers added to the equation. Plugging and chugging, we get an estimated average force on the necromorph skull of 2,900 newtons, 650 pounds of force. This smashing force was only achievable after we weighted the rig with around half of Isaac Clarke's in-game weight and estimated his fastest stompy stomp. But what does this number really mean? Well, according to the paper Biomechanical Assessment of the Injury Risk of Stomping, the largest forces that male volunteers could impart to a force plate were actually around 9,000 newtons, 2,000 pounds of force, half the bite force of a great white shark. And from forensics, we know that stomps like this can and do cause skull fractures. Our stomp force was only maybe a third of that, so why did the skull shatter? Well, I measured the impact areas on our 18 to 43,000 psi pressure film after the fact, and the metal features on Isaac's boots were extremely small, like less than 15 square millimeters in some spots. And this made everything make sense. It gives us a pressure range that both nicely fits with the results on the pressure films and surpasses the compressive strength of human bone, explaining what we observed. Isaac's specific boot is critical to smashing success. It's like the difference between hitting a block of ice with an ice pick instead of just slapping it with your hand. High pressure overcomes high strength. So I believe we can conclude that a normal engineer like Isaac Clarke, stomping with forces we know humans can produce and sporting hulking boots with functional metal points and edges, could plausibly create enough pressure to shatter skulls, as seen in the games and as evidently proven by the Necromorph Smasher 5000. Trademark pending the lawsuits.
So I think that worked.
That worked insanely well, terrifyingly well.
Maybe too well. From all of this, Thea, you built a rig that can not only go somewhere in the neighborhood of tens of thousands of PSI, but can also crack a human skull. What do you think about that?
Very proud of myself in this moment. Very proud.
When I gave you the
We're proud of you too. That was awesome work. Love it.
When I gave you the task of making something for the Dead Space game, were you familiar with it, and did you think that something like this was possible at first?
I wasn't familiar with the game, checked out the game to see what it was happening, the functionality, etc. And I was worried, I'll be honest, because bones are actually very hard. It's somehow like they evolved or something.
Who could say?
And, but I mean, I'm thrilled because again, like just staying in one line too, not glancing off, like the impact needed to be like really precise, as if like a human was orienting it.
Exactly. If this slid out, you lose all of that force.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is that when we use the pressure paper, that was in the maybe 100 megapascal range, which I like because that is actually around the tensile strength of human bone, which is like 120, 125, something like that.
Wow.
So it makes sense that this did this, but it's still surprising and pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, if you enjoyed this video and all the skull smashing, make sure to check out how Thea made this monstrous rig back on her channel. Check out this card up here in the video. Thank you so much, Thea, for helping me out
I'm on PC, so no card just showing up.
today. And the next time I need to decapitate and or remove some brains, I'll give you a call.
Weapons Master will report for duty.
Now exiting the facility.
All right. Another great one from Kyle Hill. answering the science questions that we never asked, but deep down, we wanted to know the answer to it. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, all right? So, till next time, take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here.